Tonight's top story in the Key City Airpower History Tour, bringing the historic World War II aircraft to Abilene. KRBC's Dan Booth was at the Abilene Regional Airport, finding out why these planes are so important for families connected to World War II.
It makes you wonder if this is what one of them sounded like. What did it sound like when they had 300 of them flying in formation?
People in the big country had the opportunity to see and even ride legendary aircrafts used in World War II, like the B-29, T-6, PT-13, and more.
To honor the men and women who have flown these aircraft and built these aircrafts back in the war, to educate the general public, and especially young people, about the sacrifices that they made at that time.
These historic planes bring emotion out of people all over the world, including veterans, their families, and even those who defied gender roles to build them.
When I see somebody break down in tears because they're remembering their fathers who flew the airplanes, and quite often we have a lot of the Rosie the Riveters come out and they're looking at the airplanes they helped build. That's very moving for me.
One Sweetwater man had the opportunity to be a passenger on the T-6, and he says that experience reminded him of his stepfather.
My stepdad, he flew the Avenger in the war, and it kind of gives me the feeling of what he was going through in the airplane. Of course, he was being shot at during the time, and it just kind of takes me back to that.
This year's Airpower History Tour changed a little bit because of the pandemic, but the crew running the tour says it's important to make sure these historic bombers continue to take flight.
We bring the museum to the people, so that it gives a lot more people the opportunity to see these planes up close and personal, be able to touch them, be able to hear them, to be able to smell them when they start up. And that's one of the big differences about what we do as opposed to folks just going to a museum.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Dan Booth.
Thank you, Dan. You can learn more about the Airpower History Tour on our website, BigCountryHomepage.com.